Hey everyone, it is time for our midday break and you're coming to create with me today. Today, I'm going to be teaching you how to create your own lock screen and phone background on Canva. So Canva is an online platform that you can use to design graphics, and I am going to show you how to create your own background. So as you can see here, we've got a few templates here that you can choose from, but today we're actually going to be making our backgrounds from scratch. So I'm going in here, I'm going to search in the photo section and get a photo bank. We're going to start working on the lock screen first. And I'm thinking about using something that's a little bit more inspirational that takes me out of the huzz and buzz of the world. So I like space, I like stars, so that's one of my favorite things to look at, starry night. So we just take the image and manipulate it to drag out our screen, and you really just find a space that you like or a photo that you like and adjust it to your liking. And this is going to be the first backdrop. And now, if you like it, you can leave it that way, but I want to add a little bit more pizzazz to it, so I'm going to open up the Effects tab. The Effects tab is a new feature on Canva, so you can put more filters on the photo that you like. I'm going to use the color mix, which is that top layer there. And really, it's just exploring the program and seeing what you like and how you want to manipulate the photo, and you can mess with the hue or the saturation, and all of the other effects will also let you create a more personalized filter. So once you're done, you'll click apply and that's it. The next thing I want to do is add some text. So when you lock screen, you open up the phone, there isn't really much to look at, so I'm going to look up some good quotes. If any of you have been following me on social media, you've been seeing that I'm reading currently The Alchemist, while rereading, and so Paulo Coelho is one of my favorite writers, and I decided that I'm going to use one of his famous quotes. So we're going to copy and paste that, and we're going to go back over to Canva, and the next thing that we're going to do is choose the font that we want the text to look like. So there are a few different templates, and if you can see here, I've got two different font styles that I'm choosing from. So one's going to be the main text, and then the other, more serif, is going to have Paulo Coelho. So as you usually see in quotes, you'll have the very beautiful font for the actual words, and then we're citing who said it with the more readable, legible font. So we're creating visual art with text. So after you've copied and pasted there, you can type in the author, which is what I'm doing right now, and then I'm going to move it over from the left-hand side to the right-hand side as we usually see quote layouts. And then the rest of it is really just adjusting the font size, so that way we know where we want this to be placed in our lock screen. Again, when you open up the phone, how is it that you want the words to read? This is what you do for it. So now that I figured out the layout of my text, I am now going to start to change the spacing. So when I'm changing the spacing, it just makes it a little bit more readable, legible. So I'm going to increase the space between the lines of my text, And I've also opened up the space between the letters itself, and you can do that through those selections there. I'm also going to increase the font size of the author, so that way it's all readable. You don't want to have something that's distracting. You can see everything as we open up our phone for the lock screen. Now for the first font text, I actually thought that the font for the quote was a little too script heavy, so I am looking in the other script options that are here in the font, and this is the whole font database for Canva, so there's a lot of different options here, and you can just try these out to the ones that you think suit best. Now I'm just adjusting the layout of the text and the quote, and should be actually good to go. So now I'm going to just enhance the text a little bit more. I'm going to change the color of the text. So if you can see there, Canva has already given me a full breakdown of what the colors look like based off the background that I have. So I chose a color that is a part of that background, and I'm bringing up the lightness of that color so it can be a little more standout, but it still complements the background. And I'm going to make the opacity just a little bit. Opacity means that you are making something transparent versus being completely clear. And now it looks like it's coming out of space, and we have these words coming in. I think actually my opacity might be a little too dark. Let's see. Yeah, I think I need to bring it up a little bit more. So again, it's all about adjusting things to your liking, so that way you are creating a piece of work that is fun for you. And now, again, I just like to create some space where I can highlight every aspect, and I want to look at that and see who actually said the words. This is Paulo Coelho, and I'm looking for something that can highlight that these are his words. I always like to remember who said what, so this is a good way. And I'm still using that resizing and adjusting and the opacity. I'm not really a fan of this thing that maybe I just need to adjust. I just don't think it's working. So I easily delete it just by hitting the backspace. Now I'm just going to search for some lines so I can underline the author name. Okay, now I have my underline artwork, and I'm going to actually move the line closer by just using the keyboard and using the arrow. And that makes it a little bit more fine when I'm moving it. Instead of trying to click and drag, the mouse can be a little bit too more dramatic in its movement, so we can use the keyboard to actually change the position of that. So that actually finishes up our lock screen. So now we're going to work on creating our background. So you can duplicate it and remove the background, and we're going to start over. So now I'm going to look for a gradient background actually, because as we're creating our backgrounds for the actual phone when you're engaging with apps, you don't want things that are going to be so distracting in the background. You want something a little bit more stagnant for the background. So I'm going to choose this yellow backdrop here as a gradient, and I'm thinking I want to have something that's kind of like, a flower. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, so now I'm going to begin my search for a flower. So I'm thinking about making something that's just a little dynamic. We can go with this one. I think I like this one. And there's another effect that we have on Canva, and it is the remove background. It's the top one. And what Canva does is it analyzes a photo and then it removes the background of the image that you choose, and it chooses to select everything else and remain. So that way you've got this standalone photo of a flower, and it gives you that nice dynamic there. And as I'm looking at this layout, I'm not actually in love with this flower as much anymore as I'm contrasting it with the yellow gradient. So I think I'm actually going to look for a different flower. Maybe I'll add it to this one. Maybe so it can be its own. Let's see. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of different flowers here. Maybe this would be a cool addition. Not necessarily sold on anything yet. It's not really popping my eye. I'm thinking I'm going to look for something that has a more red background, or red coloring, I should say. And let's see. You know what? My favorite flower is the orchid, so maybe I can get some luck there. And look at that. I found one. Okay, I love this red orchid with the bud that's coming out. Let's see if we can get that on. And we're going to do the same thing. Just remove the background. Okay, wow. I really like that. So I'm going to get rid of this white flower. And I'm going to rotate this image so that it's 90 degrees. And I'm going to expand so it takes up most of the space of the backdrop. Now, if that's all you want to do, that's completely fine, but I think I want to add a little bit more texture. So I'm going to look for some petals after I've arranged all of this now to the background, so that way we can see it all playing a part. So now I'm just going to search for these photos, and again I'm just going to do the same thing of just finding images that we like, removing the background, and then arranging it in a way so that it looks a little bit more whimsical. So sometimes when we find photos that we like, they have little parts that we want to get rid of. It's really easy. You can just adjust the photo by cropping it, and this removes the image that you want to hide and allows you the space. We're going to remove the background again, and now we're just going to get fun and arrange these flower petals so it looks like the flower petals are falling around the orchid. So these flower petals I like, and now I'm going to actually copy them. So that's the icon on the right hand corner, and we're going to rearrange them and just have some more fun. Okay, so now I'm at a place where I really feel like I like the full layout of the photo. So now I'm going to add a filter of my own, and I would love to have some rays of light to kind of give it that layer there, and then it's going to make the whole image back. Oh, did not mean to do that. Let's undo. So I'm looking for I don't know if this is going to work. Let's see. Yeah, that didn't really work at all. So we're going to delete that, and we're going to look for some more rays of light. Let's see what we find. I like that one. And really it's just a mix and match. So as you can see, I'm trying to see if I can remove the background and then add it as a gradient. Looks like Canva sees this all as one photo. So again, there are some limitations to Canva, but it's a really great tool for anyone who's getting started with any type of photo editing or graphic design. You can mess around with stock photos. Oh, I really like that. Yep, I think that's going to be the one. And I won't have to do much. I'm actually just going to arrange this back to a 90-degree angle, and I'm going to change the opacity so that way it all looks like it's coming together. So I'll just put this in the top corner, bring it all the way out so it's covering the whole image, and now I'm going to go to the opacity and make it basically transparent, which gives us that really cool background in the back. Okay, and you can see the little hints of light. So now it's all together. And now we've got our background. Oops, sometimes Canva will have that. Thinks that it wants one thing as image, but that is the background. So now we've got our background completed for after you've unlocked your phone. And this will be a good layout here. And now we're just going to name each of the files so that way when I download them, I'll know what is what. So this is for the lock screen, and this is the background. Great, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this download button. It's the arrow on hitting the line. You're going to click that, and you have other options on what you can choose, but I prefer the PNG because it's the high quality image, and most smartphones can read it. So we're going to do that, and we're actually going to download them as one individual file. So we'll download one, and then we'll download the second. And there it is. Okay, And now we're going to download the second one. And now that you've downloaded both photos, all you have to do is send it to your phone. You can email it, however way you want to get the files onto your phone, you can do that. But that completes how you have it on your phone. So if you want to find out other ways to create, or if you guys have any other ideas, send an email out to me and we can create new things on Canva or any other place. Thanks, guys. See ya.